Come on, we don't want to go to jail. Walk out.
Go ahead.
Go on, walk.
Go ahead.
Go.
Go ahead.
Thanks for
Get
staying, friends.
your hands off me! Because I told the manager that I wasn't happy with the waiters gossiping. You want to strip me? Take my clothes too. Tell my church to come, but I'm going to church. This is how they treat a woman, a mother, a grandmother, a teacher, a therapist, a law-abiding citizen who goes to church. So why is this all happening in public? Bring everybody from church. This will go in the history book, okay? I hope you're getting a good record of this.
Okay, I don't know about you, but I love having lunch with my girls. There's something almost sacred about going to a restaurant in like a cute little outfit with your besties, maybe having a few grown folks beverages and some food that you didn't have to cook yourself. But every now and then, one of us maybe hits the vino a little too hard and starts getting a little wild, okay? Getting a little tussled, you know who you are. And things then start to get weird. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but there is nothing worse than the feeling of secondhand embarrassment, especially if the one causing it is someone you know, okay? Like you want to just kind of scream out, I know she's acting a fool, but I promise what she is doing is no reflection on who I am as a person. A little selfish, maybe, but sometimes self-preservation is crucial in public when someone in your crew is a hot ass mess, like today's character. Everyone meet our Karen du jour, a woman who, let's say, around and found out. Do we actually still say that? Does anyone still say that? Well, we're saying it today, okay? So today, Karen faffoed when refusing to leave a restaurant after an altercation between her and her staff and found herself arrested instead.
This is what I get for complaining about bad service to a bad manager.
That's not what happened.
That's
You were told to leave.
That's exactly what happened.
This is the day that Karen learned that laws actually kind of maybe do apply to everyone, like at least most of the time. But first, hi, hello, it's Swoop, and welcome to the dark waters of the Suspool, the place where everything and everyone is sus. Or is it us? Come on in, the water's fine. Welcome back, Suspirians. I hope you've come prepared for the most unhinged, ridiculous story. When I first heard about this and the twist, I don't understand. We did another one of these like Karen stories. If you haven't seen it, you definitely need to check it out. I'll link it down below, where this Karen was in a restaurant and she saw a teenager with a mini skirt, and Karen didn't approve of the length of the mini skirt, and she literally goes over there and like puts her hands on the teen and like yanks the skirt down, and then she calls the police, and then she winds up getting arrested. It is the most wild, unhinged story, so definitely check that out after this one. If you're new here, welcome to my second channel. On my main channel, Swoop, I do full-length deep dives and Petty University, and over here, we are the highly educated class of Suspirians with a master's degree in the unhinged and a doctorate in sorting out the sus. So feel free to guess along with us in the comments about where you think the story is headed, and let's find out if our first guess was correct. And if you're into unhinged and sometimes dark stories, subscribe to this channel, bring a towel, and go ahead and just tickle the like button, okay? She likes it like right around the ribcage area. Okay, here's the thing, Suspirians. This story is so unhinged. I'm gonna need you to help me to find all of the hidden clues to make this story make sense. And there's no better way to get warmed up and put our detective hats on than by playing June's Journey, a free, super fun hidden object murder mystery game set in the glamorous 1920s. Did I mention it's free? I absolutely love playing this game. I mean, honey, who doesn't love playing detective? So thank you to June's Journey for sponsoring today's video. June's Journey is a captivating detective story where each new scene takes you deeper and deeper into a thrilling murder mystery story where you can help June Parker in her quest to solve the murder of her sister. But there's a twist as you'll uncover her family's many twisted secrets along the way. June's Journey is free to download with my link. It is so much fun to play. And let me just tell you, Miss June has a knack for getting in tricky situations and solving problems, and we love that. There are the most beautiful and colorful scenes, and you can customize, remodel, and fix your very own mansion and garden island. There's always something happening in the game as you move through the story. You'll discover new chapters and events that you can earn additional in-game prizes, and you can play alone or join a club and have a special competitions. Okay, we love a little group effort. I love playing this game when I just kind of want to take some time and relax and unwind my brain. It is such a fun way to just have some me time while I get to play detective, and there's just something so satisfying about finding the clues and solving the crimes, honey. And did I mention it's free? Join me, have some fun, and download June's Journey for free. Scan the QR QR code on the screen or tap my link in the description. June's Journey is available on iOS and Android mobile devices as well as on PC. So download it, play along, and treat yourself to some murder mystery because you deserve it, honey. Okay, let's dip in to the cesspool. August 17th, 2022, the police were called by the staff to remove a woman causing a disturbance from a restaurant in Florida. Yeah, I know. We don't even, yeah, okay. Now, we don't know much about the events prior to the police being called other than what Karen tells us, which, you know, take it out of 17 grains of salt. But what we do know is that this woman, who we later learn is named Carol, was asked to leave several times by management, but she simply refused. She refused so hard, in fact, that management was forced to call the police to intervene. I don't know why you would, Carol, this is not off to a good start. Now, there's a chance you may be thinking calling the police on a woman just because she won't leave seems ridiculous, yes, but refusing to leave an establishment on someone's private property when asked to is actually technically a trespassing. There's many definitions under the umbrella of trespassing laws, and refusing to leave when asked is definitely one of them. So at this point, the police actually can be called, which they were. Let's take a look.
Hi, how are you? Okay, the manager of this establishment has asked you to leave the business. Okay, you need to turn and walk out the door.
Love.
Well, no, you know, you gotta hand it to her. Carol's got a goal, and she's sticking to it. Excuse me, ma'am? Yeah, you're gonna have to leave. No. Oh, for sake. Like, the literal whole grain, sugar-free audacity is kind of astonishing to me. I'm just like, what did she think? That specifically her no is above the law? Well, that's actually exactly what she thought. So Carol continues her refusal, telling the officer that the manager of the restaurant is a complete idiot, and when the police inform her that if she continues her refusal to leave, she will be arrested.
The manager of this business is an idiot.
That may be, but you gotta go right now. Turn around and start walking there. Turn around.
But she's above the law, remember? They wouldn't dare arrest her, so she does the natural next thing you should do, which is taunts the officers, telling them, go ahead, because, you know, it's her world and we're all just living in it.
Come on, you don't want to go to jail. Walk out.
Go ahead.
Come on, walk.
Go ahead.
Go.
Go ahead.
Come on, just turn around and walk out. I know. Go ahead and walk out. Come on. Come on, start walking.
For what reason?
For what reason? I think we have been over this, Carol.
Managers,
I'm going to the...
you're under arrest. Put your hands behind your back. You're under arrest. Hands behind your back. Ma'am, turn around. Turn around.
Y'all, what was that phrase that we said earlier that may or may not be cringe now? Oh yeah. Fuck around and find out. So it turns out Karens aren't above the law. I know, shocking.
You're under arrest. Put your hands behind your back. Stop resisting.
So she's, of course, put in cuffs and basically dragged out of the restaurant as she calls for her friend Dory. Now, Carol here, you know, she's, bless her heart, she still hasn't gotten the memo that things aren't going to go the way that she thinks. So even as the police drag her out of the restaurant, cuffed and all, she continues to demand the police give in to whatever she wants.
You're under arrest for trespassing and resisting arrest.
Get your f***ing hands
I don't do
off
requests.
me. Get your f***ing hands off me.
She demands they take their hands off and tries to even wrestle her way out of the officer's grip.
I'll be 10-15, my
Get
friends.
your hands off me.
Signal lady.
I'm just like, how the hell are you gonna be so entitled? See your entitlement crash and burn and still run the entitlement game like Karen, nobody's buying, find a new gig.
Doreen, look at this asshole twisting my arm.
But also, okay, I need a moment for this officer real quick, cause baby, when she tells the officer to get his hands off of her, his response sent me, like it was so simple, but it just sent me.
Get your hands
I don't do
off me.
requests.
I don't do requests. Girl, someone give this man a hand clap. That shit cracked me all the way up. I don't know why. I'm sorry, y'all. I've been covering some serious dark stories lately, and I just needed a good giggle. And now enter Doreen, Carol's supposed white knight, pun intended, who cannot even begin to fathom that an officer is arresting someone who looks like her, I guess.
Well, we told her to leave. She was trespassed by management, and then she attempted to push through the police officer and myself, so now she's being placed under arrest for resisting arrest and trespass.
And I guess she too thinks she's above authority and tells the officer, "Don't tell me what to do," when he politely asks her to step back from the scene of the arrest.
Hey guys, come on.
Ma'am, you gotta stay here, ma'am. Ma'am.
Hey, no, don't tell me what to do.
I'm telling you what to do.
Yeah, hey.
Don't walk over here.
Of course you can look
Okay.
over. Look how tight he made these cuffs. Look what he's doing to me. Look, he's cutting off my circulation.
Authority is.
Because I told the manager that I wasn't happy with the waiters gossiping.
Wasn't happy with the waiters gossiping.
We were asking for our salt and pepper, and they were standing there talking together.
Oh, okay, got it. You were asking for salt and pepper, and they were talking to each other. That is some hot, juicy goss. Oh my gosh.
She was been arrested because she wouldn't leave the business after she was told to leave. That's right. You're under arrest. No, you pulling on this cuff.
Cutting my circulation.
Pulling on this cuff is why it's hurting.
You're cutting my circulation. My son is a
going to
state
jail.
trooper.
Come on.
Are you
to jail.
kidding me?
And there it is. Inevitably, this is always a tried and true classic Karen tactic. My son is a state trooper.
My son is a
going to
state
jail.
trooper.
What's your son or his profession have to do with this? Does anyone know? Does anyone in the class, any of our Susperians out there know what her son's employment has to do with this situation? I didn't think so. Because I sure as hell don't know. It's kind of like the Karen equivalent of like, do you know who I am? No, Karen. Who are you? Tell me. I would love to know.
Because I
Don't we
told
have
the
better things to do with
manager.
our taxpayer money?
I said,
Get on
who's
the
the
sidewalk,
owner of this
okay?
place?
I'm a
You're not allowed to stand there. You're allowed to stand on the
Officer, I am
sidewalk.
on public property.
No, you're not.
And I was on public.
He's giving you a lawful order.
No, you're not. This is why we have the problems we've got.
Not succeed.
We're living in a communist country.
We're in
I'll
communism. This is
explain.
called communism. Right here, right now, this is what we got.
Communism?
I'm not inferring anything.
You're welcome to stand on the sidewalk.
Record it.
It already is being recorded.
Record it.
Hold up. Okay, back up. So to be fair, Doreen does have every right to stay and watch the arrest. There are no laws, at least that I'm aware of, prohibiting her from watching or even recording the arrest if she wants to. Now, police don't really like to be watched and or recorded, especially in this day and age with the internet and the general public being more knowledgeable about police brutality. So yes, sometimes cops try to intimidate witnesses of arrest to get them to leave. But FYI, if anyone's wondering, like generally you have every right to record and watch an arrest as long as you are not interfering with it. So points to Dory for that one. Also check your local laws just in case, you know, I'm not trying to just, check your local laws. But back to the subject at hand. Our star, Carol, continues to make a huge ass fuss, claiming that the officer is twisting her arm and like cutting off her circulation. And I think we can all agree neither are true. Like she's just making things worse for herself by pulling against the cuff.
Would you mind pulling her cuff? I'm not hurting her.
No.
Her pulling on these cuffs is what's hurting her.
So then like Dory, who is finding herself, if you get that, then you get extra bonus Susperian points. Dory tells the officer, you don't arrest people for this. But actually, you do?
Yeah,
You
okay,
relax.
well, this is
stand
getting
still,
a little
should be fine.
ridiculous.
I agree.
Well, the
If she would have
manager
turned and left the
is
business, we wouldn't be here today.
Yeah, but officer,
Okay.
you don't arrest people for that. Come on.
It's called trespassing. Yes, we do.
Again, laws of trespassing. You gotta leave an establishment when you're told to leave the establishment. But to be fair, again, Doreen does kind of have a point. Like the nature of this call is a little ridiculous and just kind of like a waste of taxpayers' money. Like Carol claims this all started because the restaurant staff were making fun of her and her friends, and somehow all of that led to this.
Come on. You don't want to go to jail. Walk out.
Go ahead.
Come on, walk.
Go ahead.
Go.
Go ahead.
Trespass. Come on, man. Come on, just don't let him walk. You're under arrest. Hands behind your back. Ma'am. Turn around. Turn around.
It's actually when I really think about it, especially the stories that I've covered that are like serious and darker. It's actually kind of a bit effing annoying that my taxpayer dollars are being wasted on situations like this when these police could be handling way more important things. Like, it literally takes 45 minutes to get through to 911 in some areas, and better yet, our tax dollars could also be funding things like, you know, education or, I don't know, healthcare, public services. If we have money to spend to handle situations as dumb as this, then why don't we have money to fund the more important things? But I guess I'm not supposed to ask that, Karen.
Already is.
Because I told the manager that I wasn't happy with the waiters gossiping.
So no matter how ridiculous this may be, the police have every right to actually be doing this, but that doesn't really seem to be, you know, getting through to them.
I don't get this. We're in communism. This is called communism. Right here, right now, this is what we got.
This is our dinner.
This is what we got. We got criminals coming over our southern border, but we're going to arrest this woman.
6 women having dinner together. I'm complaining about this service.
Why?
So I don't think these women know what communism is or what a communist country is, because it isn't an officer arresting a woman for trespassing, or Carol claims a woman for drinking a glass of Pinot with her 6 friends. Just keep that in mind for now. Like, we'll come back to that later. But I don't think these women have taken much time in their lives to think about law enforcement, because, you know, law enforcement probably doesn't really seem to affect their everyday lives, unless, of course, you're this lady.
There is an African-American man. I'm in Central Park. He is recording me and threatening myself and my dog. I'm sorry, I can't hear you either. I'm being threatened by a man in the ramble. Please send the cops immediately.
Never forget, Karen. Never forget.
She didn't leave when she was immediately told to leave, I believe.
That's what I think.
That's correct.
She was told on multiple occasions to leave. She tried to trespass the officer physically.
Yeah.
After she was told to leave by management, so she's being arrested for failure to leave upon trespass and resisting arrest.
Can you let her go? She didn't understand what was going on.
She understood. She was given multiple warnings and told to leave.
No, let it go, because I can't
And
wait
you're going to do
to
this
see
to your
this guy out.
restaurant?
You know what? We're going to post everything on Facebook.
Okay. You're more than welcome to.
Have a picture of us, okay?
Aw, look, the Karens all came to have a giggle. They sound like a gaggle of geese. A gaggle of Karens. So now the rest of the gaggle of Karens, the clump of Karens, yeah, we'll go with that. The clump of Karens has formed, united as one entitled bunch, singing the songs of their people. Can you just let her go? She didn't know what was happening. Aw, bring out the tiny violins. She just didn't know what was happening. Just let her go. She's a poor little entitled Karen who didn't know laws apply to her. Just let her go. She doesn't know that when people ask her to leave, they mean it. Just let her go. She didn't know the world doesn't revolve around her. Please, just let her go. Just let her go. Society just loves to use the whole they didn't know better argument whenever someone who doesn't fit the stereotypical profile for a person that should be arrested or thrown in jail. And I really want to ask the question, Florida. Not that everyone in Florida is like a certain way, okay? You guys know that. But, you know, there's a certain subset of people who, like, if Karen didn't look like this, let's say Karen was, I don't know, a black man. Let's say he's like a black 22-year-old man, right? And he was drinking his wine with his friends and the restaurant asked him to leave. If these Karens were witnessing that, what do you think their reaction would be? Because I have a strong feeling that they would be applauding the police for arresting them, right? I'm just saying, I'm not saying, I'm just asking a question. So let's get back to it.
You're under arrest.
What if that was your mother?
My mother wouldn't act like that, ma'am.
Okay, King of Sass. Welcome to the Suspool. He said, my mother wouldn't act like that, ma'am. I am done. And then he said, I wouldn't misbehave.
Well, I'm sure if you were misbehaving, she'd be putting you in her place, I would hope.
And I don't misbehave.
You know what, at this point, Karen could have just skipped the restaurant and got a free meal on the sidewalk because he cooked her ass with that one. Dude, honestly, if I were Carol, I would have just accepted defeat right then and there. That's one of those moments that I think Carol will never forget. Like when she's trying to sleep at night, the shade monster will creep up and remind her, hey, remember when that officer straight up cooked you in front of all of your friends? Yeah, she's never living that one down. That officer's mother would be very proud of her son for this one.
Well, you know what?
It's not going to go anywhere.
I'll tell you how it's really going to go. We're not coming back. And everybody we know, they're not coming back.
Okay, you're you're more than happy to do that. That's fine. You're welcome to your opinion. That's totally fine.
Oh no, the most annoying clump of Karens ever and their entitled friends won't be coming back to the restaurant. Whatever will they do? Oh my gosh, that's just so sad for the restaurant and all the employees. Ew. Now, this entire time, I have been thinking maybe she's just super pissed, like messed up. You know, like sometimes you have a little too much to drink, you start acting a fool, maybe she's in the bag. It happens.
I don't know how much you've had to drink or any other intoxicants might be in your system, but it might have played a factor in that.
One glass of wine with my dinner.
You may have. I don't
Yes,
know.
I know.
Wasn't watching.
Okay, so never mind, fixed me. She's just an entitled bitch. Sorry, I got caught in a yawn there. I almost wonder if like this would have been less embarrassing for her somehow if she had been drunk and admitted it. Not that again, that would change the outcome. Actually, that would make it worse. I think public drunkenness is pretty solidly a charge that police do as well. So I don't know. At this point, I didn't think it could get any worse or more embarrassing for the clump of Karens. That is until our star said this.
So why are we standing here? Let's get the show on the road.
So he just pulled up. We need a female to come over here. A male is not going to touch you.
Well, I am in public. So why is this all happening in public? The officer said he's going to take me into the police station. So let's go. I don't know why I'm standing out here. This will go in the history book.
Well, I didn't realize we were witnessing history here, folks. This is big. Let's take a moment and really think about that. We are living in the same age as Carol, leader of the great nation of entitlement. It's a sacred nation off the coast of no one gives a And here's our hero being arrested, something our children's children will learn about one day. Right after the chapter about the Civil War and the end of slavery, the next chapter will be the Karen that wouldn't leave the restaurant. Thank you, Carol. Thank you. I salute you. Except this is not going down in history, obviously, but this goes to show you just how unhinged and self-important this woman really is acting. Like it's truly her world. We're all living in it, even law enforcement, okay? The nation of entitlement. Welcome to it.
I am so glad.
It's a private establishment. They can kick anybody out for anything.
Yeah, they can kick anyone out. Stay safe with this? Are you kidding? There's no safety here. This is a communist country. This kind of treatment.
Again, being arrested, even if you don't want to be arrested, isn't the definition of communist country. Communism, by definition, is a, quote, political and economic doctrine that aims to replace private property and a profit-based economy with public ownership and communal controls of at least the major means of production. So weirdly, maybe, by definition, Carol would actually be safer in this situation in a communist country, as private property, I guess, shouldn't actually exist under the idea of communism. Everything would be shared by the public, so ownership wouldn't even take place, meaning Carol wouldn't actually really be breaking any laws because that law would go against the communist ideology. So actually, Karen is mad at capitalism. Capitalism loves ownership, hence the trespassing laws. So sorry, Karen, but you're blaming the wrong economic ideology. I tried to make sense of it.
Did you want to keep your jewelry on you? They're going to remove all these.
Why? For what reason?
Why would you think I'd be kidding?
I don't know.
They're going to take all this when you go into the jail, so that's why I'm asking you.
Doreen.
No, Doreen can't come over here until I give her permission to come over.
Yeah.
Would you be okay with turning that over to her?
You want to strip me? Take my clothes too.
Take yes
my clothes
or
too.
no?
Okay? Take my shoes, take my clothes. Take everything.
The bracelet and jewelry is an option, okay? You think about it.
Now, mind you, the last time Carol around, she did indeed find out.
Come on, you don't want to go to jail. Walk out.
Go ahead.
Go on, walk.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So if I were her, I wouldn't tell these officers to strip me down and take everything because they just might do it. Of course, they won't, because an officer isn't going to strip someone down to nothing. At least I certainly hope not. But all I'm saying is by now she should understand that there are consequences to her actions.
You want to strip me? Take my clothes too.
Yes
take my clothes
or
too.
no?
Okay? Take my shoes, take my clothes. Take everything.
By now, Carol and her Karen clump are clearly embarrassed by the entire situation and want nothing more than for it all to be over. But that's not happening, obviously. So Carol has continuously insisted that the officers take her to the police station so she doesn't have to do this in public.
I want to go. Take this off,
No, we're not taking them off. Sit down. You said you wanted to go, right?
Are we going now?
shortly, but you have to sit in the car, okay?
But this is where Carol's request gets a little hard to follow.
Tell my church to come, but I'm all at church. Tell them to come here. Tell really to bring everybody.
Everybody from church?
Bring everybody from church.
Bring everyone from church here? What in the congregation?
Bring everybody from church.
Okay, let's see where this is going.
You need to sit in the car.
Everybody, tell everybody
Carol,
to
we're
come.
not... Carol, come on.
Tell them to bring everybody now.
Down. Watch your head.
So she wants to be taken to the police station so she's not in public, but she continues to refuse to get in the car when offered several times. And then she calls for her church, everyone in her church actually, to come to the scene. That clip will forever tickle me. So, which is it, Carol? Do you want to leave or do you want to stay and be a spectacle for everyone here and your church members who you're now calling upon? I would like to know what in Carol's mind will her church members accomplish coming to the scene? Especially, I mean, maybe if they like lay some hands, it might like lay her in the car so she can get to the police station that she so very much wants to go to. At this point, she's clearly going to jail. I don't know what a couple of church ladies and a priest are going to do about it. But, you know, we pray for your entitlement to diminish and away, Satan. God bless every one of them, but the Karen clump is still somehow confused about the entire situation. So the officer calmly recounts the story for them once again, but the biggest surprise guest of all is about to enter the scene.
She's going to jail. I gave her every opportunity in the world. All she had to do was turn around and walk out. That's after she put her hands out and touched my vest. She didn't hit me, but she put out her hands and made contact. Well, arrest me then. And I didn't even do anything right then. I took a breath and said, please, just walk out. And she couldn't. She wanted to push past and make a scene. So now she has to go to jail. She made all these choices. It's unfortunate she did that. She'll be in jail for some hours and end up getting...
What was that?
God.
What is that?
A lizard.
That's a big lizard.
Are you kidding me?
It's break free.
Almost landed on her hair.
Hold up. Are you f***ing kidding me? Let's roll that back.
She'll be in jail for some hours and end up getting...
What was that?
God.
What is that?
A lizard.
That's a big lizard.
Did you guys see that? The lizard literally chose self-inflicted death over hearing these Karens continue their entitled bitching. I am screaming! You know you done effed up when at this point even nature is revolting against you. Like, I don't blame the lizard. I too would choose that fate over having to hear this bullshit. But let's continue.
I asked to be driven back to the public place where I was, instead of being in the secluded area where none of my friends and nobody can see me. I do not feel safe here, and I have been saying, I have been...
You know, a police officer with you.
Are you kidding me? The police officer who put handcuffs on me and twisted my arm because I complained about the wait staff.
Again, it wasn't because you complained, it was because you wouldn't leave and touched the officer.
No, I don't. I don't feel safe here, and I want to be in a public place.
Would you like to just deal with me only? I have nothing to do with the situation. I'm a female to female. I can just handle it. And ask them to step back.
So, okay, I kind of understand where Carol's coming from. Like, I wouldn't feel safe with a bunch of cops without any non-officer from the public watching me. Like, we've seen time and time again that some police will do anything to anyone at any time, even with people watching. But what I don't understand is that Carol wants to leave here to go to a police station where more cops would be. Like, and who do you think they're gonna back up? But I guess maybe she thinks having more officers will protect her. Like, it's a little confusing, but she seems to be upset with this one specific specific officer and the one who arrested her in the first place, which I can understand. So the female officer offers to be the only one to handle her in the situation and for the other officer to leave the scene, but that's somehow not enough for Carol. What we do know about Carol is that she will still make things worse for herself at any given moment.
I'm trying. I asked you. They've asked you multiple times to come out by yourself and you're not doing it, so now I'm gonna have to help you.
I asked to go into
Step out. We're done with all this. Step out of the car.
You're done with all what?
Trying to negotiate with you.
Right.
Come out. Well, you're under arrest right now. You have to cooperate with our booking procedure.
I'm not cooperating. No, ma'am, no. That needs to come out. Take that right leg.
Austin, do you want to pull her out that way? You want us to pull you across the car?
Does she honestly not remember that not following orders from the police was what got her in trouble in the first place? First, she wouldn't leave the restaurant. Now she won't leave the police car.
You want us to pull you across the car?
You're not gonna push me.
Perfect. Then
You're not gonna prod me.
Come on.
You're not gonna twist my arm like you are now.
There, just relax.
What kind of a man are you?
relax.
What kind of a man
Carol, take a
thinks of
breath.
a woman
Relax.
like that? Get the off
You're
my
tensing
arm.
and bracing your arms,
You're
twisting your
squeezing
hand.
my
I'm not
arm.
holding your arm so you get under control.
Off my arm on the head.
Relax.
What
Take a
kind of
breath.
a man are you?
Relax.
Traditionally, Carol, I believe they call him a policeman.
This is how they treat a woman, a mother, a grandmother, a teacher, a therapist, a law-abiding citizen who goes to church.
A butcher, a baker, a candlestick maker, all of them going to jail.
Help me! Help me!
So when you put those on,
Help me!
Now, I almost, I don't, but I almost feel bad for her at this moment. Being arrested can be a traumatizing experience. Having someone you don't know search your body can be traumatizing, but at the same time, she did this to herself. All she had to do was simply leave the restaurant when they asked. The staff asked, the officers asked, the officers even said, hey, if you leave the restaurant, you can just leave. You can go anywhere, Karen. You can Karen somewhere else in the world. God bless you. But no, she didn't do that. And so this happened.
did you find anything? Like you got
I didn't.
Did you hear that? A law-abiding citizen.
did you find anything? False.
Okay, just take her away.
I'll let go, but if you start flailing around, I'm gonna have to hold your arm again, okay?
I want to go directly to the police station this time, instead of sitting here in a secluded area where I've asked to be taken to the police station over an hour ago.
Sit down.
So, Suspirians, what have we learned here? A few things, but the main one, laws generally do apply to everyone. I mean, I guess unless you're a politician. But you know, in general, or at least depending on the officer's mood, the laws apply to you. They apply to me. They apply to mothers, grandmothers, teachers, therapists, churchgoers, and whoever else Carol claimed to be at the end there.
This is how they treat a woman, a mother, a grandmother, a teacher, a therapist, a law-abiding citizen who goes to church.
Like, no, history will not tell Carol's story, but we certainly will in this quaint little video. History will usually show you that the laws were created for a reason, and maybe next time, Karen will just order delivery. Okay, Suspirians, time to step out of the dark waters of the Suspool. Grab a towel and dry off. That's what I got. If you want to hear more stories like this, be sure to subscribe to this channel and tickle the like button for more. And let me know in the comments if you have any stories that you would like us all to dip into. Also, follow me on Instagram and Twitter, linked below. That's where I post most often, and also announce opportunities to have your thoughts featured in my deep dives on my main channel, Swoop. I have a brand new full deep dive Swoop documentary out on my main channel. It's linked below and in the pinned comment. I highly recommend that you watch after this. And there's a lot more Swoop docs coming soon. Been working on a lot for this channel. Very excited, and I love having all of you here. Also, be sure to grab your very own pieces from the Valid Ribcage and Valid Social Club collection in the Petty University shop, linked below as always. I know that you're gonna love these pieces. I absolutely just love so much when you tag me, like on Instagram, of you wearing your pieces or sending me little stories or posting in the comments. I've received so many comments of y'all being like, I was, wearing my Valid Ribcage hoodie and I was out, getting coffee or something, and a total stranger was reading the positive message that's along the spine of the ribcage. And I just love that, like, we have this little piece that we can put on our body, remind ourselves that, yeah, guess what? We've been through a lot of and we do matter, and that someone else who hasn't even discovered our community yet can also get a piece of that positivity and hopefully have a better day for themselves as well. I just love that. Also, be sure to stay tuned for the first official Suspool apparel. It's coming very soon, so soon. Maybe in the next video, I'll let you know, of course. Also, a huge, big, massive, gigantic thank you to all our new channel members and our Patreon members. I appreciate your incredible generosity and support so much. Like, if you want to become a channel member through YouTube, you'll get access to member badges, special emojis that you can use in the comments, and you'll also get some private posts on the community tab. Now, don't worry, no one worry, okay? There's absolutely no pressure at all to become a member. I just had a lot of people who were asking if they could be. You wanted this little extra special sauce on the barbecue, but just having all of your lovely faces here spending time with me and our community is more than enough. It'll always be more than enough. The videos will always be free. Also, huge thank you again to our Patreon producers and supporters. I appreciate y'all so very, very much, and we've got some new things that I'm putting together there. Be sure to join me on a murder mystery adventure with June's Journey and download June's Journey for free by tapping my link in the description. June's Journey is available on iOS and Android mobile devices as well as PC, and to treat yourself to some murder mystery, you deserve it, honey. Thanks again for coming for a swim. Have a good day out there. Keep it creepy, keep it cute, and I'll see you next time in the Suspool. Swoop!